Hello, wanderers of the internet. It's PaleoJohnathan, and I'm going to avoid hitting that deer, first and foremost. What's more small town than deer and corn? Well, anyways, as you can see, I'm currently out taking a drive, and that's because of an invitation I got. I don't know what I'm exactly here to see, but I've heard rumors, and I think it'll be right up my alley. Oh, look at the goats. They have a whole little area eating stuff. Goats. Yes, I was invited by an old friend of mine who happens to live out in this small town here by the name of Burrows. This is Burrows. Probably ought to stop for gas, of course. Gas prices these days, am I right? No, but seriously, especially with such a long drive out into the mountains. Of course, certainly worth it just for the sights alone. Really gorgeous. And the town itself ain't half bad either. Quite photogenic, and it's really quiet. In fact, maybe a little too quiet. Not many people around, are there? Oh, well, doesn't matter much, because I do believe that, right around here, at the end of the street, should be Hammond's estate. If I am to be believed, right in the backyard is the thing that I'm here to see. Oh, they got a nice little dirt path going out. How nice of them. As a visitor, I believe I park here. Okay. I believe I can, just walk right on past. And, looks like I might have been exactly right. There it is. I've heard rumors, of course, but oh my goodness. Properly articulated, too. There it is. Yes, your eyes do, in fact, not deceive you. This is all in Jurassic World Evolution 2. And let me give you the tour real quick. So yes, this is the town of Burrows, situated right up in the mountains. Quite snowy at the moment, of course. And yeah, it was built with basically every mod under the sun to be like a very realistic, like, background or like start of a park. You can build it out of it, which I will be doing in a series that's kind of story driven as well, mostly just to give context, because I think to build a truly accurate park, you need to have a timeline, a narrative, etc. So yeah, I also have it up for download without all the dig site stuff, so that if anyone else wants to just use it as a background or to let dinosaurs loose to rampage in, etc., they can do as much. Of course, it wouldn't be a small town if there wasn't a giant field of corn, quote-unquote, and that all comes from this farm right here. And this is the first thing I built, and I really thought, a farm really is like the gateway out into small towns and stuff. Fields and fields of corn is, perhaps the most authentic thing I could have built. But I only ended up doing one. We've got an orchard, and, you saw that little smaller farm there, chicken coop, quite high tech for a chicken coop, farmhouse, barn, and over here, yes, there is the area with the goats, if I can find one in the white, as well as goats. There's also the deer, which I found were a really fun touch, and did not script nearly hitting them. That's just, they're everywhere. It's like real life. And I believe, yes, there's a dirt road there that leads into town. And I think the best way to do the tour of the town would be to just go to a couple of the key points. So here we have the main street, starting at the Hammond estate, heading down past some other more privileged housing areas. And look at these houses. So I put them together using pieces from the InGen Town mod, because, it's housing and stuff. And I basically just stacked them on top of each other, put them inside of each other, etc., etc., to make houses. And they don't look too bad. I could have covered up a lot more of the flaws, added in a lot more details, but this is mostly meant to be in the background, so as long as it looks good from, like, the street and from above, I don't mind too much. But really, I mean, it gives a really insane impression. It's hard to believe that this stuff is in the game, after seeing so much of absolutely not this. And when you, set dinosaurs loose in it, because of course I've tried it, you really get that feeling of like something out of place, and it makes them far more interesting, far more scary. Yeah, so going down Main Street, we of course have all the regular guest amenities up here, but yeah, you saw plenty of the other modded buildings as we went past. We've got another gas station, which I thought that was really cool. I like the gas stations. They're like, it's one of the coolest, like, every little building that, like, adds realism is, like, such a big thing. Like, this, like, apartment complex I made, or, like, right here we have, as you can see, goodness gracious, pool, yeah. The proper, like, you'd go in through the gate, and there's tables and stuff. Probably a bit chilly right now for the pool to be open, but, who am I to judge? We also have all sorts of, like, little details, like, right over here, we have a little open space with a construction site and a little, like, street food area that, I thought was a neat touch. We have, the church, of course, as well as one other over there. We have a movie theater, which, gotta have a movie theater, and a rest stop as well here. Going over this way, we have the biggest residential area. This is probably the most challenging to make, but it turned out really incredible. I mean, look at that. It really is hard to believe that this is like the same series as launched Jurassic World Evolution 1 with like literally not a single placeable decoration. But it is real, and it is quite a lot of work too. Over here we have the hospital with quite a lot of parking and a whole like complex because it is a hospital. I based it off like the paleo veterinarian building so I could get the ambulance, but it looks quite unlike anything in the game, and of course very cobbled together. And let's see, I do believe after that it's on to the other side of town. So we have some more residential areas with different design. I like to think that like different building companies took over different aspects, of course. Oh, and I skipped something in the middle of town real quick. Yes, there is a small side street with a gym and a parking lot for the apartment complex out the back. I also got to use these Jurassic Park pylons, and they give like a great sense of time to the build, I think. There's also a hotel over here that looks a little out of place, but there'll be reasons for hotels like that once the series progresses a little bit, so it's fine, and it's, a little bit more variety in the buildings, which is sorely needed, of course. You don't know how many times I placed the same exact buildings to put them together. Anyways, though, here we have both a park with a nice little pond and a tennis court, and we have another church, this one a lot smaller. I literally just sunk it into the ground and gave it a itty-bitty parking lot. Over the park, we have the school, which is also made out of a church, but with a whole bunch of other stuff added on. It's got a little, yard area for the kids, and it's got a basketball court, basketball, very important. Don't know why they don't have any other courts, but, I mean, there's at least a tennis one right across the street, so they play enough sports. I imagine off somewhere in the field there'd be a nice, football, soccer area, or football if you're normal. Over here, we're looking at the, power factory area. I could have done more, but, I mean, really, there's not, there's only so much I can do without it looking like just any other park and feeling out of place. But, I mean, it definitely, what I did manage to get looks nice, and, is a good change of pace, of course. I think the whole thing with this project is variety. And, the game is really great, but already, the tools for creativity, while not running out, of course, they're running out of variety. And I put this as a, challenge for myself to create something that, absolutely has never been done as, the most, detailed, most interesting park build I could possibly think of. And I put it up for download so that people can use it as a base for their stuff as well. So, yeah, there's that. It's on Nexus. There should be a link in the description, or you might be watching this on Nexus. I think I'm going to put that in the description of the download. But anyways, though, plot importance would be over here, because in Hammond's backyard, he has found dinosaur bones. So if you head up past the security gate and into the dig site, you'll find a whole bunch of people assembled around this. It's kind of dark, so might be hard to see, but yes, we have a whole bunch of dinosaur fossils. And while, it is remarkable enough on its own, they are completely articulated, which in real life would be like winning the jackpot like 1,000 times over. It would be impossible, mostly, but, it's, one can dream, of course. Maybe someday we'll find something like this. But anyways, though, of course, there's a whole area set up with plenty of, like, supervisors, diggers, people camping out, and, of course, a toilet. I liked how, like, utilitarian this felt. I usually gravitate towards these, like, utilitarian builds. I think they just look really neat in the game. Not to rag on, like, more, like, mainstream park creators, but there's very much the, like, path art, park design with a whole bunch of planters everywhere that you always see. And, I like it, but it doesn't make much sense in reality. And, of course, this would be probably the hyper opposite. It's not exactly very pretty. In fact, it's kind of ugly, but the ugliness is remarkable in a way. And I'll put time back on and set it to day so that we can watch the snow melt really quick. I love the snow effect so much. I wish it was on every map. I don't know if it's on this one. I have the weather set low. I'm using a mod to turn it on, so you might need the cheat. But I mean, if you're downloading this map and you have concerns about mods, there might be bigger issues. So as we're like looking over the stuff that I've already looked at, I want to briefly describe what this series is going to entail. So yes, this is on one of those giant square maps that are really cool, and I'm going to be building a park like out of this in time. It's going to be a whole thing though, and I'm going to do it like if you remember back in the day, the like PaleoJohnathan preserve, where I like bit by bit built out pieces, and then like each episode was like an update, and that way I can have like kind of like a building series and get multiple videos out of these giant projects without filming myself building them, which I hate doing. Speed builds are okay, but even then, like, the pressure to perform is too much for me to do my art. So yeah, of course there's these cornfields that are very nice. And yeah, the last thing I wanted to show is these deer. They're literally everywhere. They're everywhere. Especially around here. I don't know why they like this area a lot, because I put feeders all over, but they head here. So yeah, I do believe that's about it for today. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing something completely unlike anything else ever made in the game before. And maybe if you're interested, you can check it out and download. Regardless, though, see you later. Bye.